Before I dwell into my talk, I want all of you, to close your eyes and embark the journey of visualization. Imagine you're a high school student and you have been awarded a sponsored visit to one of the largest petrochemical giant in the country. You are very excited for the event. The day of travel has appeared. You went into the airport on time. You have been received by an airline support staff. You have been taken for the priority check-in. You have boarded the flight where you have been served with exotic beverages and snacks in business class. What else you want? The flight is on time. You reach on site and you met the HR representative from the site who talks about the beauty of the city and takes you to the site. There you meet a safety manager where you get the instructions on do's and don'ts, precautions, and your site visit begins. It's a massive project that is going on there. And after your post-site visit, you have been told to wait in the conference room for the leader interactions. When you are waiting in the conference room, 3 persons enter in the room. They are covered in dust, dirt, and sweat. You came to know that they are construction manager, maintenance manager, and production manager. When you had the chit-chat, you came to know essentially they are the civil engineer, mechanical engineer, and a chemical engineer. Now please open your eyes and raise your hand that how many of you have visualized that the airline support staff was a female? How many of you have visualized the person who has hosted you in an airline was a female? What about a safety manager? Female? A construction manager? Female? Production manager? Female? Maintenance manager? Female? Nothing wrong if you have not visualized these characters as male, because that is the bias that has set inside our mind, since we do not see majority of women taking up these kind of stereotype job roles. But why someone is advocating these harsh roles for a woman when there are diverse roles which are soft, glamorous, and highly paid? The underlying contention is, when we talk about the concept of Make in India, essentially we are talking about India coming onto the platform of global manufacturing. And it is these educated women who are nearly half of the working population are shying away themselves from the long-term career opportunity in manufacturing. Manufacturing and technology in a normal way termed as a male-dominant area. But today, a new generation women who are strong enough and they are trailblazing to achieve these positions that has set in our mind as the male-dominated roles. I am one of those women standing here in front of you. Talking about me, I belong to a family who nurtures education and curiosity. And in a very early hood, I had a deep spark where the curiosity always used to be that how things work. That made me enter into engineering, and I completed my chemical engineering in distinction. I distinctively remember the final year chat with our professor, where he was just giving his casual advice to us as a student. And he said, girls are very studious. They should continue their study, finish their masters, do their doctorates, and go in academics and research. That suits them. While guys, they are notorious. They deserve the hard rigor of manufacturing. Well, this was his personal advice to us. But the implication of that idea was women suits in the softer aspect of STEM or technology. But what to do when you dream of working in the large industrial units? You love to roam around amongst the furnace and column. That is your dream. You have wished for it. To my support, thankfully, my family didn't had any expectations of softening down my dreams. They said, we wanted you to become an engineer, which you did. So now you take a decision. So with such encouragement, I embarked on my professional journey as a graduate engineering training in world's largest refinery and petrochemical complex. I started learning nuances of manufacturing in the hands-on experience, right from learning how a panel operates, reaching to a place of production manager and technology manager. But it's not just me over there. Always, this ride was not an easy one. I met stereotypes, gender biases. I remember somebody coming and telling me they are not comfortable seeing a lady as a production manager. Somebody advising me that you are not doing justice of a role of a wife. You spend too much time in the plant. Well, initially, this whole thing was just the statements for me, because I was shaping myself to be a technology leader as I was working in one of the largest commissioning projects for the company. But life took a turn and I became a mother. Not once, but twice. The moment I became a mother, I realized that people started doubting my capabilities. Even I received a comment, she will be too much busy in her personal priorities. Probably she is not fit for the role that we are giving her. She may not be able to handle the responsibility which requires 24 hours of her. Suddenly, I became useless. So what shall I do? Shall I stop living my dream? Or shall I succumb to those places or those thoughts which are telling me that I am not a right fit? I was actually dwelling into the deep sea of negativity when the anchor was my soulmate. He asked me two questions. Wasn't it was your dream to become a site head? You are an engineer. You always talk about heat and mass balance. Have you ever balanced out what is more important to you, your dream or your current situation? And that was the time when I started journaling. On one of the page, I started writing all the negative emotions and comments that I was receiving. And on one side, I was writing whatever the blessings or the positive parts of my life were. Slowly and steadily, by every day's journaling, I realized that one implicit thought is coming in that. And that is, people don't think I am good enough. And that too, certain type of people. So as an engineer by nature, I removed the impurity on my life. And I said, I will stop focusing on those who are categorically giving me these negative emotions. And I started seeing how my husband was a hands-on father when I used to spend nights in my plant during shutdown, when I was days together out from my house because of my working tours. I saw the blessings in my personal life. And when I started this, I also started realizing that in the work front, whenever I was doing something good, there were people, the leadership team, were appreciating me manifold than what it was required. There were people who were appreciating and motivating me to go above and beyond to achieve my dream. They wanted me to succeed. And that was the time I said, this is where I have to balance out. And when I did the balancing, I realized that being a mother and a working professional in manufacturing holds a lot of merit than the demerit of the negativities. And it's not just that. Motherhood had helped me to become a better version of myself. My procrastination has gone completely because I did not have any time to procrastinate. I became a better planner. I stopped my unending sessions of those reels and I became a conscious content consumer. In fact, I became somebody who says, just do it right first time. And I became more efficient. So essentially, my motherhood was helping me out to reach my dreams. And I have also found one thing, that initially people are skeptical about a woman in this field. But the moment they see the work, your attitude and the quality, the perception changes and it becomes an unwavering support to you in terms of meritocracy. And that is the reason at every forum I get, including my Toastmaster speeches, I prefer to talk about the equality or equal opportunity for the women. It is us who are sitting in this arena needs to break down the bias in our mind. The bias that has become so strong that we could not visualize that a female can be a mechanical, civil, or a chemical engineer in the dust and dirt of field. So it is our duty to break down bias of ours, our darling daughters, sisters, wives, to let them see the dream and make them achieve the way they want, to let them live their dream and not to hinder them that they cannot do it. At the end, before concluding, I would like to just say one thing, that together, let's make a world which is strong enough for the women to shine their potential. Let us make a future where equity and opportunity becomes a birthright of every woman and girl. Thank you.